Hey everybody, so we wanted to do an update after our appointment today. I can't tell you how much we appreciate all of the prayers for peace and grace and wisdom and healing. We could definitely feel that we had a lot of people praying for us today, which was very needed. It was a rough appointment. It started with an ultrasound and the baby still has a heartbeat. The baby is growing right at size. We actually got to hear the heartbeat for the first time today, which was really cool. We're second trimester tomorrow. So we're growing and on pace, but the genetics are an issue. So they ran some labs last week and they kind of came back concerning, like it marked it as high risk. But they only could run certain things. It's really confusing. Anyway, because of the way the labs came back and because of the continued testing and what they're seeing on our ultrasounds, they do believe that this is a molar pregnancy. They said it's either could be complete, could be partial. They're not positive. And the only way to know for sure is to do the D&C, and then they test the tissue. My doctor is recommending going ahead and doing a D&C because it does look so probable that it is a molar pregnancy, which would mean terminating our pregnancy. We have some really serious risk involved if we don't go ahead and terminate. And what that looks like is two main possibilities. The first of which is severe preeclampsia. And she said that'll be very sudden, very fast, and we'd go in for emergency surgery immediately. The second option, or not option, that's a terrible way to say it. The second risk that we're running actually increases every day that we keep the pregnancy is the abnormal tissue with molar pregnancies. There's a particular type of cancer that is caused by that tissue. And the longer we keep the pregnancy, the higher risk we are for that cancer. And she said we could potentially be looking at metastasizing cancer, where it would go to other places in my body. We could even potentially lose my I could potentially lose my uterus. Sorry, this is still very new information, very fresh. Could potentially even be looking at losing my uterus if it didn't spread, but it was bad enough. So they're recommending that we go ahead and do a D&C, and that way I can recover. They'll monitor me for 6 months to a year, depending on how my numbers do for cancer. And then we would be able to try again. Or we can just try to wait it out a little bit longer, see what happens. Like I said, it increases the risk as the days go by. We have an appointment at Wake Forest on Friday for a second opinion. It's never a great sign when you walk into a doctor's office and there's 3 doctors, well, 2 doctors and a geneticist, and they're waiting for you. It's really not a good sign when all 3 agree that you need to be seen at Wake Forest as soon as possible. And so we're really thankful for a healthcare team that is supportive and that really understands our desire to keep this baby. Right now, the baby is perfectly healthy. There's just this abnormal tissue that's causing potential damage to me and the baby. So we really appreciate continued prayers as we travel to Wake Forest, as we deal with all of this. It's a really heavy thing to be having to make decisions between the possibility of my health or having to lose our baby, or the possibility of both. And we could just really appreciate any prayers that you would be willing to give on our behalf. We believe all things are for our good and God's glory. And that is just what we're trusting in, and what I'm going to keep telling myself until it sinks fully in, is that we want to honor God in whatever way we can through this process and glorify Him, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And so we appreciate your prayers as we strive to do so, for health, for safety, for our boys, as even though they don't understand, they can feel the pressure of what's going on in our home. Appreciate your prayers for Thomas as he leads our family, works a million hours. Because of the circumstances, I've talked to my boss and I'm stepping back from work for a few weeks, just to give us some more time for appointments. We have an appointment Friday and then again next Wednesday. We just appreciate everything. We're so thankful for an incredible support system, because I don't think anybody can carry this by themselves. And so we're very thankful for you guys.